people are our biggest assets. I mean, that's what we say in ATC. I mean, the digitalization is very important, but what you do on a digital platform, you put a reservation. I mean, that's just one part of the job. I mean, there is so much other things behind the scenery, what the GSSA is doing. I mean, we're organizing the tracking, we rebook, the offload, we make the pricing on behalf of our airline customers. And I mean, still, it's very important to have the best of the best in your team. I mean, it's very important to have the local expertise in a network with the forwarding agents. Because finally, I mean, on the platform, you mainly book the shipments in the region of 100 to 300 kilos, but you have to go to the customer and maybe even to the shipper with the agent together to explain about the product and what you can do for your customers.
Hi everybody, this is Libin Chacko Kurian from Stat Media Group. We are here in Mumbai for ACAGO India 2024. Right now I'm joined by Ingo Zimmer. He is the Chief Executive Officer of ATC Aviation, one of the prominent GSAs in the world. Ingo, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Let me start by asking about the market first. You know, 2023 has been a very difficult market for the ACAGO industry. There was an increase in capacity, demand was low, and then the yields falling down, for example. Give me an idea about how ATC Aviation performed. What were your communications with your clients, your airlines that you represent, for example?
You're right. I mean, 2023 was a very challenging year for our industry. I mean, so far I recall, the demand dropped by around 30%. There was a pressure on rates, I mean, also in a region of 30%. And I have to say that you can't compare 2023 with 2022 and 2021, where we had very high rates coming because of the COVID situation. But if you look at the yields, I mean, the tonnages have been very flat in 23, but the yields have been still on a very healthy level. So the yields have been, I would say, rather good. Even to China, they don't drop too much. And yes, I mean, the demand was low. The capacity has grown a lot. But I have to say that there was a really positive tendency at the end of the year. So we have seen in December, we had the best result of the whole year, was in December. Tonnages have reached really highs. And in January, so in 24, talking about present year, I mean, January was already 30% up in tonnages compared with the same months last year. Okay, so we see a very positive development. Market is getting better. And also February shows some very positive sign. I mean, one fact for the low demand in 23 maybe was the inflation. I mean, we had overall a very high inflation, and then the political situation. So consumers were not spending money, investments have been on hold, but I think the situation is getting better now in 24. So we are very positive for the recent year.
You have very good presence all over the world, for example, but give us an idea about how we are growing, okay? What are the kind of expansion plans you have, for example, in terms of onboarding new clients? So give us an idea about what are your plans in terms of expansion, which are the new markets that you're looking into, for example. Last time when we met, you were planning to expand to African market, for example, in Johannesburg. And right now we are in India, for example. What are your plans?
Yeah, you are talking about South Africa. It was difficult during COVID times because some of the airlines stopped to operate in the Joburg. Some of our customers are back, for example, Saudia. So there are positive signs on the South African market. Honestly, for me, I don't see any other options than Joburg or South Africa. I mean, we are not going to expand in other territories in Africa. That's not our focus. I mean, our focus might be or will be Asia. I mean, we are here today in India. We are investing in India. We have hired very professional new management here, and we are looking forward to get new business, new customers, new airline customers in India. So we have invested heavily. So India is a place to be. In India, we expect a very strong growth. I mean, maybe the best global growth you will find here in India. There's a shift of production coming from China, high-tech production, to India. You have the pharma biz, you have the automotive biz, and we made the experience that recently demand is very high. Demand is higher than capacity, especially out of India. And maybe it's time to operate some freighters to cater for the demand. So India is important for us. Asia is very important as a whole. I mean, we are looking to find new partnerships. We are going to find new acquisitions. We want to have organic growth as well. So Asia is a place to be. First line, it's India. In Central Europe, we are already very strong. We are leading. In some countries, we are stronger than the national carriers. In the United States, we have a very strong network, 10 offices. We were focusing a lot on South America recently. So I think we have built up the network already for South America. So we are fine there. So Asia, so strong in Europe, strong in the United States, strong in South America. So Asia is next, and especially India.
As a GSC business, you think on behalf of your clients, airlines, for example, think from their perspective, and you act behalf of them. Give us an idea about what is the mood in your clients, for example, about the business. What is happening there? What are the new things coming in? What are challenges in the market right now? For example, how about the digital transformation happening? Yeah.
That's a very important question. I mean, like I said, demand is lower than capacity, so we have to fight for our airlines. I mean, we have to fill the existing capacities. We are using different distribution channels, and the digital one is very important. I mean, ATC, for example, is also having the tool for the customers to do some e-bookings via our webpage. For all our airlines, digital platforms are getting more and more important. So we are some of the digital platforms as ATC for our airline customers. And like you mentioned, I mean, it's very important for us to manage the revenue. Yeah, and the revenue management is a very important tool, part of our job.
Give us also an idea about what we can expect from ATC Aviation in the near future. We are here in Air Cargo India. This is the last day of Air Cargo India 2024, and you are speaking to new people here in India. What are you listening from them? Give us an idea about it.
Is having the feeling that it's getting better now. I mean, everybody is very positive about 2024. And I have to say, it's very important for me to say this exhibition has been outstanding here in India. I'm here in India nearly a decade. And this was a very, very, very good exhibition. We had the opportunity to meet many of our airline customers. And it's not only the airline customers. I mean, our local teams, they are talking to the shippers, to the forwarding agents. And I think the mood is getting more positive. I mean, most of the stakeholders in our industry are very positive about the recent year 2024.
What are some of the challenges that you face in your business? Can you give us an idea about? And also, you are building a workforce, for example. You have people working for you who have expertise in building this business, for example. How you nurture them? Tell us about your team.
It means the team is the most important point. I mean, people are our biggest assets. I mean, that's what we say in ATC. I mean, the digitalization is very important. But what you do on a digital platform, you put a reservation. I mean, that's just one part of the job. I mean, there is so much other things behind the scenery, what the GSSA is doing. I mean, we're organizing the tracking, we rebook the offload, we make the pricing on behalf of our airline customers. And I mean, still, it's very important to have the best of the best in your team. I mean, it's very important to have the local expertise in a network with the forwarding agents. Because finally, I mean, on the platform, you mainly book the shipments in the region of 100 to 300 kilos, but you have to go to the customer and maybe even to the shipper with the agent together to explain about the product and what you can do for your customers.
So when we talk about the Indian market, what I listen from some of the people is that a low yield market, for example, do you see that changing in any way? Also, I'd like to know the expertise that you're talking about, for example, your workforce, how we are bringing of your expertise of Europe or all around the world, the network you have, how you will be able to bring that to India. Give us an idea about that.
No, you are talking about the yields. I mean, like I mentioned, the yields are still better than in 2019. I mean, we have to be aware about it. So we are not complaining. And I mean, the product mix is very important. I mean, it's easy just to sell the whole capacity to one customer. That's not what we are going to do. I mean, we have a product mix. We work with the small and medium-sized entities, with the big ones as well. I mean, the big ones that bring the base load. And we have also different products at better price, like Express, for example, or Pharma. So it's very important to have the right product mix for your airline customers. It's also a question if you are looking for high-dense cargo or for volumetric cargo. I mean, what counts also is the revenue per pallet.
Thank you so much, Ingo, for joining us today.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you.